So what's up, Itchla? Coming back to ya with another episode of Car Rides Witchla. And today we're running somewhat later than I would like, but I guess I can't really classify that as late. I just don't think I can do that because it's not like truly late, you know? Ugh. I do not have time for this right now. So I'm just angry. Just very angry over something that does not concern you guys. It concerns the residency. I don't know why I'm laughing about it because I'm actually pretty ticked off about it. So I'm going to have to be texting someone, but not this specific moment. Hopefully I remember to do it later because I don't really need to do it now. And it's, I don't know. It's stupid, but yeah, I don't know why my mic always needs to be adjusted. Kind of getting tired of it. Anyways, I had a dream where I got this new car. It was actually a Hyundai. And it had this really weird pedal system where there were like two gas pedals. And I actually don't know for sure what that's like what it was actually meaning. I think it meant that you were supposed to kind of alternate, kind of like you were running. And it was mirroring how you would run, where, it's like left, right, left, right, left, right. And you'd kind of like run like that to accelerate. And it was really difficult. The car was really confusing. The shifter was odd. It was an odd shifter. And the shifter was on the left. I think now I'm remembering that. The shifter was on the left side of the car. It was not on the center console. And so that was really disorienting too, because it was on the left. So, sorry, my microphone is just really annoying me right now. I put this thing up so high. And it always droops. I have to put it up like way high because now it feels like the other part of it got mangled. There we go. It got mangled a little bit. So now I have to make it even up higher than it was before. Now it seems like it's not close enough to my face. So I have to adjust that. Just like, seriously, man. I think we're good now, though. This seems pretty good. But we'll see what I'm saying in a couple minutes because it might just droop. It may just droop. Anyways, yeah, status report. We're probably going to be somewhat late, but not too late. Like, not really, really late, but it's like, come on, you know. Probably woke up about 5 to 10 minutes too late. I've been a little more chaotic than usual with my sleeping, and I'm not really a fan of it, but I'm not fixing it. I was getting better, but now I'm not. So it's just, I'm definitely getting fatigued by things. Things are being very fatiguing to me. I'm not really sure what I'm doing or what's going on. But yeah, this new car. And then I was wanting to look in the settings, and there was a setting for the maximizer. And so when I put the maximizer on, and then there was a setting above the maximizer, which was the nitrous maximizer, but I figured I wasn't going to need that. And when I put the maximizer on in the car's settings, it did seem to work better. Kind of interesting too. The car did not have a screen, which is kind of strange for a newer car. It didn't have a screen. I think it just had like one of those little digital text displays. But yeah, I was kind of able to remedy the problem. And then I kind of just wanted to use my regular car. Even though my regular car was more boring, this car was just so confused. Like my regular car, in comparison, the regular car felt worse. But again, the regular car was just so easy to use. So that's why I just wanted to use the regular car, because the regular car was just really easy, but it seemed boring. I don't know if that makes sense or not. But yeah. Trying to think of what else. Any other details about that dream? Now, my next dream was about, I was at the movie theater, and one of the first, I don't know if it was a trailer or the actual movie I was seeing, but there was a song, and I remember the song, and I remember what was going on, and I was thinking about what I wanted to do, because I couldn't get it. Like I haven't been able to record it, and I want the melody to be intact. I want to be able to reference it. And I thought, maybe I could say it on this episode, but I don't want it to be public. I don't want someone to steal my idea. But then I thought about it too. If somebody stole my idea, the proof would be right here. Proof would be right here that they stole my idea. So, and then also, I don't think anybody's really going to do that. So I'm trying to remember the melody, and it's a shame because I'm not going to be able to remember it all that well. Like, I don't really remember the words, but that's not important because you can always change the words. But yeah, it was like, well, see, now I'm getting stage fright. Well, no, it's more like, like, am I really ready to sing right now? I don't know. Just being in the car, it's kind of a weird. On my side, cast the stone you throw away. I don't know what you gotta say, but I know, no, nobody's like this. It was like something like that. I think that was it. So now that that's recorded, at least I can remember it. On my side, cast the stones you threw away. I don't know what you gotta say, but I know, no, nobody's like this. I know that was a little rough. I'm just, I'm roughing it through. I don't remember what, yeah, like I don't really know what the words would have been, but the other detail I'm supposed to do is weave in like brief kind of reverse notes after, like, kind of the ends need to have some kind of like harmonizing, but it needs to be in reverse. So if it was like homicide, homicide, it would be like homicide. So it would be like homicide, homicide, but it would be like in reverse. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. No, my apologies for the subpar performance, but you know, first of all, I'm not vocally trained, and second of all, I'm driving, and I wasn't really thinking about, like, in my head when I woke up, I was just thinking about, oh yeah, I'll just sing while, and then it wasn't really stage fright. That was kind of a joke. It was realizing, like, I was like, oh yeah, I'll just sing it now, and then my brain was like, okay, hold on, like. You're like, while driving, like, this is a little bit disorienting. So, but I obviously pulled it off. I got the memo right. I might sing it again at some point just to try to get that through in my head, because hopefully I don't forget. 'Cause I don't even know what episode this is. But it's kind of cool because then if I actually got an album done before this releases, which I think it's kind of unlikely, but it's not impossible, but I think it's pretty unlikely unless I rush to release it as a single. That'd actually be kind of cool, because then you could go back to this episode and see, oh yeah, you know, that was like the original version of that, but then he tweaked it. He put different lyrics on it, like tried to trim up the lyrics. And yeah, I mean, mainly it's that key about putting the reverse. I don't know why I called it accents. It's just the harmonies, but it's not. It wasn't like constant, or maybe it was faded. Like maybe it was the ends came in louder than the beginning, so it was kind of faded in for the harmonies, and they were reversed. So it's very interesting. But yeah, I'm trying to get back into music. I mentioned it last week. It's just been way too long since I released a proper album. I basically released an EP last May, but it's already gonna be May. Like we're already really close to that. It's basically gonna be in 2 months. It had been a year since I dropped that EP. So it's basically been, I want to say, almost 10 months, because I think it was the end of May. I think it was the end of May. So we're like, I want to say it's more like 1 week away from 10 months since that released. And I really, in general, I think it's kind of weird just how much things passed. Because when I think that I'm almost going to be on a year since I've been recording almost every car ride to work. It's definitely in the 90-something% of success rate. I mean, that is just I don't think at the time. I think when I said it, I was much more cautious. I'm assuming I remember that. I'm assuming that's correct. That I was very cautious. I kept saying I'd never really done anything for a long period of time, so I wasn't sure why now this thing would just go unscathed and with no problems. I really had a hard time believing that, and so I didn't want to I didn't want to promise that for myself or like really be all like aggressive and religious about it. And I think I only voluntarily skipped 2, maybe 3, but I think I only voluntarily skipped 2. And sorry, I'm just pausing. I think in addition to those 2, we have maybe the 3 times, maybe 4, but I think 3 times that I woke up a little bit too late and I wanted to eat my breakfast in the car as a way to like counteract that. Yeah, the mic still ended up slipping down, but I don't think it's slipping down too bad. So, but yeah, I would say that is a decent synopsis. So I want to say it was 5 days or 5 episodes in total that were missing. And I'm trying to think, because it would have been, and then also there were a few times where, you know, I had to get something done with my car or oil change. So that could have been a few days, which that times 2. I mean, we could have had like, I want to say 12 tops missing episodes from that. So we can just go with it's probably under 20 opportunities that I went to work and I didn't end up recording due to that multitude of reasoning. So I think that's pretty impressive because besides that, if I did 10 every week and there's 52 weeks in a year, it should be like 500 episodes, because it would be 520, but I know there was like the one time I went on vacation, and then I'm trying to think of what else. Yeah, I'm not really sure. I'm not really sure. Something I just want to note, because I was talking to my dad, and I thought it was kind of funny. He said, like, because I was telling him about, I know it's a bit late because I've had this mic for a while now, but I was telling him about my mic, and he was like, yeah, well, you know, it's good. That's like a hobby of yours, basically. And he was like, by now you probably have a collection of mics. And I thought that was kind of funny because I don't have a collection of mics, but I probably would. That probably would be something I'm interested in now that he mentions it. Because I haven't really been, I guess I've been kind of stingy with my mics, but it's also because that mic I have at home, I've loved so much. It's really just been, again, like an expense that I didn't want to move on from. And then it was just a matter of the car ride thing, you know, because now it's like I need to figure out what was best for the car ride. Now, this mic I'm using here, I would actually use at home as well, but it doesn't really fit right with headphones. So, yeah, it's a little bit a shame, but you know, maybe I could look into other ones. I'm not really sure, but I really wanted to start using the headset as a mic, and this is just, I don't know if it's my headphones or what I would have to do, but curious about it. I want to get into it, but it's not easy. It's just not easy. I wish this thing was attached to a good pair of headphones, but I think that would be very, very difficult to do, and it would probably ruin a pair of headphones. So I have to be very careful about that. Very careful about that. I've thought about it. You know, I kind of want to, but we'll see. I guess I still could if I really wanted to, but Not really all that interested. It's just another unnecessary expense, but yeah, so. Anyways, yeah, I thought that was interesting because I would like to have a collection of mics, but no, I do not. You know, it is what it is. I'd probably would, but there's other things that have taken a priority. And I've even said before on here, it's kind of weird because I went through such a spending spree in 2025. And then in 2026, I'm finally like, you know what? I've literally been putting off this microphone for so long. My mic's crackly. My mic's weird. You know, the other one I was using, the cheap one. And what am I doing? Like, let's get it together. You know what I mean? And so that led me to this situation where now it's, yeah. I was like, why did I never buy the better mic? It was a lot of money, but it wasn't like a crazy amount compared to all the other junk I was getting. And I really, the other stuff wouldn't have really mattered. I really can't think of anything I bought that mattered as much as it would have mattered to buy this, you know? So I don't know if it was a mixture of unprioritization or just it could have been ignorance. Like, that's what I'm trying to say. It could have been a thing out of ignorance. Like, I may have just not really known what to do. I don't know if the interface, I mean, the interface I have, it could have always been out, but I didn't really know about it. So I think that was another thing that kind of jump-started my decision, was because I really fell in love with this interface. And yeah, that definitely, I think that was a big part of it. So it's possible if I knew this interface existed back then, I would have been more inclined to pull the trigger. But I just don't know. Like, I don't know. It could have been out a year ago, but it also could have been the case that I just didn't know it was out. So, yeah, it is what it is, but no. See, I keep catching myself saying that. It's crazy. Yeah, I think that could have definitely been a big part of it. But I'm not sure. Then at the end of the day, what it became is I'm buying all this extra stuff that I don't need, kind of being a little bit irresponsible, a little bit indulgent. And then I'm like, well, at this point, I might as well just get the microphone. It seems like that mic I had been having issues for a while. I kind of had to put some rubber band contraption to make sure the 3.5 millimeter was like plugged in firmly. If I didn't do that, it would have problems, and then it was still having problems in some recordings. I have no idea how many were even affected. It's entirely possible that, you know, most of the car rides with Schloss ended up getting ruined. So it's kind of sad, but it's a real possibility. It's a real possibility. Sorry, for some reason I'm just thinking of the time my Mini needed its windshield wipers replaced, and I didn't really know what I was doing, and I think I put the wrong one on or something, and then I think my dad was kind of annoyed about that, because then we had to try to get it off, and it was all tricky and difficult to get off because I had tried jamming it in. Yeah, good times, simpler times. Now I'm working. Yeah, I don't even know, that Mini was a good car. They were a good car. But yeah, when I was DoorDashing, which my DoorDash career was very, very limited. It was low, but my DoorDash career, in the rain, I thought my windshield wipers weren't working well. That was another thing in my dream too. That new car I got needed a new battery. And then I really thought I got ripped off for it because then it had 130,000 miles on it. But then the receipt they gave me had the full price, even though the reason why I had gotten it was on a pretty deep sale. So then after I looked at the invoice paper they gave me, I looked back at the price tag because I still had the original price tag. And I was like, oh, okay, that's not as bad, you know. I'm definitely getting ripped off for this. I know there was another thing too where I'd bought some of these mystery toys that one of my cousins was actually interested in. And then I think I ended up just, he gave me some money for them because they were at a low price because I didn't really feel like opening them and I'd rather just have the money. And then, but the one he opened was kind of defective. Yeah, that was another detail. I'm not really sure which. I'm assuming that one kind of took place around the plot of the car one. What is this show becoming? Just talking about my dreams the whole time? What happened to the good old days where we really got into substance, you know? I'm sure that's what everybody's asking. What happened to the days when we got into substance? Well, sadly, at the moment, I'm just doing my own thing, but maybe someday I'll try to structure things more or better. I have no idea. But yeah, I did also tweak the microphone settings microscopically. I wanted to make the noise gate a little bit less extreme so it's just not as jarring, because I thought where it was at was kind of perfect, but it's a little bit extreme going from dead silence back to my voice. So I wanted to make it more of a chill difference. It'll, the background noise, you can still hear it. So it doesn't have that jarring kind of effect of when I'm speaking, all this background noise gets flooded in, and then when I'm not speaking, it just all gets cut out. I don't really think that sounded right. So I made it slightly gentler, but I really didn't adjust things too much. So I just want to see how that sounds. Again, we're definitely in the microscopic tweak stage of the thing. Definitely in the microscopic tweak. And yeah, so we're just making little tiny tweaks at this point. So I should probably hear it back. I've been getting lazy though and not even listening to it. I also reduced the intensity of the compressor slightly, just because I feel that that is ideal given my circumstance, since I'm in a noisier environment in general. I think the compressor should be a little bit more toned down. So that was just my intuition about that. And I don't know how it sounds, but again, very minor tweaks because I was already very happy with how things were sounding. And the only way there could be a major problem is if I swapped interfaces by accident. Because I don't even know if I ever explained, but I actually got two of these interfaces because I have one that I leave in my bag and then one I use for my home computer. And maybe you would think that's excessive, but I actually think it makes a lot of sense because A, I don't have to be every single time taking this thing out of my bag and then putting it into my actual computer. And then B, if this one ever broke, I would still be able to do the podcast. Because, like, think about it. If this thing ever breaks, which I know it's unlikely, I've never had an interface give me issues, but if it did, I would just be totally out of luck. And that doesn't really make a lot of sense to me, so I thought it'd make sense to just get two of them. You know, I got them for reasonable deals, but I think it was mainly because the second one was like a mega deal, and that was after the first one. So I bought one, and I thought that was going to be, you know, sufficient, but now I'm seeing that. What am I seeing? Yeah, I bought one and thought that would be sufficient, but then this like really good deal came up, and I kind of wanted to, and I just decided to get the second one. So it was a little bit risky because it was actually before I'd even got the interface or tried it. So yeah, I mean, kind of risky and silly decision making on my part, but because then, like, imagine if I didn't like the interface and then I already bought two. That would have been a disaster. But fortunately, I did like it. So, crisis averted. And everything was all good. I don't know. It was a huge success. It was a huge success, really. I can't say anything less of it. Yeah, you know, and I just thought about that too, if this thing was going to fall. I just have to make sure it's more stable in here. Because it'll keep falling, and while I'm driving, I don't want to have to deal with it. I have, like, the cable a certain way so that it's pretty stable, but, you know. Because it's wedged in somewhere, and then it slips out, and then it's not stable anymore. But yeah, this is, I don't know. I know how I feel about today's episode. I've had plenty of things to say, but they're not. I don't know that it was really all that profound. I wasn't. I didn't feel like I was dropping much profoundness. Profanity. I don't know if that's really a word, profanity. Yeah, I mean, time-wise, it doesn't look like we're really doing as bad as I thought. So, either... guess we were driving pretty fast. Or maybe... I've been getting here relatively poorly. All right. Well, it hasn't been July yet, but we're getting there. And today, sadly, I'm slightly off. Not only am I slightly off time-wise, but this thing is giving me some stupid trouble. Anyways, but yeah, I was like slightly off, but it wouldn't have mattered anyway because the thing wasn't really, yeah. So, all right. Well, we made it. All right. Well, I'd say that we still probably got some things to do. Okay, let's see here. Getting my stuff together. Getting my stuff together. All right. All right. All right. I think that it's time. It's been Sly. It's time, Sly. And now it's time to binge Sly. So, see you, Sly. It's bye, Sly. And now it's time to binge Sly. So, see you, Sly.